Hey guys, good evening. We are just waiting for our instructor. In the meanwhile, uh, let's have just a small discussion about the web development and what exactly the Angularjs is. Okay. I will be sharing few insights. Okay. I'll be sharing few insights in the meanwhile. So instructor will be joining us and will be briefing about the another part of the agenda. So for now, I will be just posting you some questions. Okay. So what are all the things that you observe, and when coming to the web development, what are all the languages that you know, and also what are the front end languages you know, and then what are the back end languages you know, and the JS, the JavaScript part, what exactly it is. So once after answering these questions, okay, once after answering these questions, we'll be going forward and knowing what exactly is AngularJS. And this AngularJS is actually developed and maintained, basically brought into the picture by Google. So first of all, when you are designing a website or developing a website with multiple pages, either it might be somewhat a static or dynamic. Okay, so why I'm using these terminologies, if you are having any doubts, you can just post it on the chat option so that I can know and I can answer your queries. So when coming to the static or dynamic websites, okay, so we have multiple things coming in. When you are designing a website, you should have some, suppose it's based upon your requirement. If you are having a requirement of a single page website or multiple pages website with only basic menu and having contact page and some Google form, or in the contact us you need to just put it a contact form with name, email ID, mobile number and query. Okay, and the other page is somewhat gallery page which showcase your company details and company photos, achievements and everything. So this is the basic static website, and it requires on HTML, CSS and other languages which are used on the front end. And after all making all these things into one place, you will be posting it in the hosting, I mean server, and it can be accessed by then using a IP address or domain name, right? But when you are focusing on the dynamic websites, so what are exactly the dynamic websites are? So you see Facebook or Twitter, LinkedIn. You can also look at YouTube, Netflix. All these things comes under dynamic websites. And when you are focusing on the dynamic websites, the point is that why are you making a dynamic website? To make the user interactive with the website. Okay, user should find some interaction with the website so that the business person or the developer can understand what is the behavior of the visitor. Okay, so to make it more flexible, more interactive, and the when you coming to the websites like Facebook, YouTube and many other things, mainly you will find out a few points. One is the view part. The first one is the view part of a website. Okay, what is a view part of a website? What customer sees, what a visitor sees on the website. And there should be a model. Okay, model for a website in the back end. So basically what is this model is? A model is a framework. In the framework, there will be a model, there will be a view part, there will be a controller part. What is controller part? Controller part, it seems like logics. You will be writing a logics on the website. Okay, so basically we have multiple frameworks for different languages. If you are developing website in PHP, you have another framework, and if you are developing website in JavaScript, you have few frameworks. By using HTML, CSS and JavaScript, you can develop a simple website or front end which is very interactive. But when you are dealing with complex complex websites, then one single person cannot do all the coding. Okay, so one single person cannot handle UI UX part, one single person cannot handle the logic part, one single person cannot handle the modal part. So you know it is a very complex situation for the developer when designing this dynamic websites. So here it comes to make it more simplified, and to get a shareable environment among the developers so that everyone can contribute and they can just build a dynamic websites within a short period of time, and which is very convenient. So I think you have been watching this slide, right? This one angular, this center part is an angular symbol. And so in the meanwhile, if though we are waiting for the instructor, let's learn something new. So what is data binding and fastest loading? So data binding is nothing but if suppose someone posts a data in their in their account, okay, but as it is a dynamic website, you also need to access the data, right? In the Facebook, suppose someone posts in their mobile, okay, you are a friend of him or her, so you need to understand, you need to get this photograph that he have posted in their in their device, right? So how fast the data is binding and also fastest loading. So to make the data to load faster, it's not that simple that you directly most of them might be observed that when you posted a photo in Instagram, or either it might be WhatsApp, Facebook, the image will be compressed, right? Why this compression is happening, why this is being very automated? Even if you posted an HD photograph, even it is taken in DSLR, it's being taken as a as a compressed file. Okay, so data binding and fastest to loading can be observed here while using this framework. And simplified MVC framework or pattern. Basically, when you use PHP, you know there are few frameworks, okay, PHP frameworks. If you are developing a total website in the PHP, you can use Laravel framework, okay, Laravel, Laravel. So basically, this is Laravel is a set of framework where the combination of files of your website at one place. Same way, JavaScript is also having its framework. Okay, Angularjs is one, Node.js is also there, React.js is also there. There are many, but there is a lot of difference among them. Let's not go deep into the subject because it's a very complex part. But let's understand these terminologies first. Simplified MVC. What is simplified MVC? So basically, modal view controller, the view part and the controller part will be handled at one place by using modal. Okay, so that image will be shared to you very soon. And the point is the next one, cross platform. What is cross platform? Can anyone answer what is cross platform? Anyone in the chat option? Can work in any device, can device independent. So guys, platform is different, device is different. When you come to the platform, it can be Android, it can be iOS, it can be Windows or Linux, whatever it might be. It's not about the device, it's about the platform. And so the websites which you have developed using AngularJS will be platform independent. You can just develop a website in one place, and you can also execute in different platforms. And what makes it simple and expressive? What makes a website is simple and expressive? When it is so light. What is mean by website light? A website is said to be light when it is loading faster, it's heavily interactive, you know, it's like a amazing UI. Okay, it's a kind of that. And next, speed and performance. Suppose a visitor is opening your website and it's loading very slow. Obviously, if it is loading very slow, then it decreases the rank of your website in the Google search engine. And also, as it is taking a lot of time, obviously user will not be interested to use your website once more, right? So it should be very speed and speed in the performance. And next, maximum users. Suppose you hosted a website in the platform in a GoDaddy or host engine or whatever it might be. So it should be having access to one if at a time the whole college is accessing a website. So sometimes the website will be crashed. Why it is going to be crashed? Because no proper linkage or heavy burden in the server side, heavy clicks, lot number of clicks, right? So even if you are using such kind of framework, it makes everything simple, everything light, and heavily user oriented and flexible development. Okay, so flexible development and one page application. So what is one page application, guys? Can anyone answer? Can anyone answer what is one page application? So guys, basically answer is suppose when we ask a person what is a website, okay, what is a website, then he will say collection of web pages. Yes, but when I ask about one page website, what is the answer? There will be no pages. There will be sections in a website. Sections. If you see the correct only one single page website, suppose for example, uh, if you go to qsite.in, okay, this qsite.in in the home page is a single page website. When you click on the menu options, that will be going to the no section, a particular section of the present website, web page. It means that there is no need to again go and hit the server, get the data. So single page website is something, it will be getting you to the particular section of the web page. Yes, front end developer is going to work on it and interacts with the develop web browser by dynamically rewriting the current web page with new data from the web server. Yes, dynamic website. You said an answer to the dynamic website. Here we are talking about single page website, single page web applications. Okay. So guys, if you can just have a look on this, the image that we'll be sharing it now. So give me a second. I'm sharing you, a image that shows you the example of what is MVC framework. So guys, I'm sharing you the screen. So hope you have been watching this, right? How many of them can see? Just raise your hand. So this is a concept of basic MVC, but not specific to the Angular.js part. We are just want to talk about what is modal view controller. Okay. Yes, guys. So after seeing this picture, what did you come to know? So modal is a kind of a brain. Okay, a brain to the can you guys give me a second? Yeah, I'm back. What exactly AngularJS is? Guys, every language after developing that, after working on a particular language for a so long time, our developers have came up with some simplified solutions. Okay, simplified solutions to develop websites very easier and make it more convenient, make it more cross-platform oriented, and also easy executable and everything. So this is one of the AngularJS is one of the framework which is developed by Google, and many companies have been now looking for the AngularJS developers. Even if you look at Capgemini, Cognizant, or many other companies like Microsoft, even in Microsoft, you can find the opportunities. Why they are opting for these developers? Because trends have been changing right now. Now, if you want to develop a complex websites, these are the main frameworks which are being used by the any company. Any companies uses these type of frameworks. They don't simply they don't simply write a code in the notepad or save the files in the atom or somewhat, not like that. There will be a particular process. You need to create a folder. In the folder you need to integrate these framework oriented sections, like one folder will be model, one folder will be view part, one folder will be controller part. In the view part we will be writing HTML, CSS, and other code which is related to the viewable, which is viewed by the user. And then the next one, controller. In the controller part you will be writing the logics. If suppose a user is going to hit a button, what exactly happens after hitting a button will be written in the controller part. Basically what we do, basically in the students, what exactly students do when they are doing any project, they simply write whole code in a single document. Or suppose they will be integrating the SQL, they will be integrating the JavaScript, they will be integrating the logic and everything in a one single file, and after making it very complex to understand for the another developer. Basically these frameworks will be taken only because to understand that suppose you have developed, but you have changed the company. Now the next another developer will come to your position, and he or she would like to continue your project. How they can understand which file is there, which file I need to focus on, which now where is the html page, where is the CSS part of this, and how should I integrate the new logic now. So these are all the things where it's a very complex thing. So make it more simplified, to make it more object oriented. So AngularJS came into the picture, and later that nowadays even React.js is also going to be trending. Okay, and next one, model is a kind of brain to the website, and controller is a thing of logical things which manipulates the data as per the user behavior, and the view part is seen by the user, right? Have you seen this? So there's a question: HTML, SQL, JavaScript, these are not sufficient, sir. Yes, sir. What is the difference between React and the Angular? See, actually, there's a difference. Like first one is a community which is being developed viral. Even if you are having small query, or there will be any immediate solution for your query, even in Stack Overflow or GitHub and whatever the environments that developers use. And AngularJS, after Angular, React came into existence, and React, similarly Node came into existence. So there is a lot of difference. To explain the difference, first you need to understand the Angular part or JS part. Okay. Okay. What exactly is AngularJS? Guys, I'm answering you. AngularJS is a framework which says that which follows MVC, Modal View Controller part. This is the framework, guys, which is now you are seeing. Modal View Control is a framework. To work on this framework, you need to know all things. You need to know HTML, CSS. You need to know some JavaScript to write it in the controller part. You need to know about the understand the model, how things gonna work. So any queries till now? AngularJS is a framework of JavaScript to develop websites which are cross platform oriented and faster loaded, and also which can be easily developed. But the thing is that once if I are entering into the AngularJS now, then you need to know the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, everything. So what are the requests like get, post, everything. So once if you are in this part, like after understanding the AngularJS and everything, you will be the no obviously a kind of web developer. Not totally, because even if you learn whole AngularJS, there is a lot of scope. But the point is, if you want to become a full stack web developer, then you need to also learn the backend, server side languages, to understand and also to maintain and update the databases. Okay. So till here, any queries? Any queries? Yeah, I got a question. Can you please differentiate AngularJS and another frameworks? Yes. But if right now, if you're going that deep into the concept, the other students may not understand. So suppose you can also see the Laravel. Okay, Laravel is a totally PHP based framework. It is only compatible with PHP language. Okay, I think can can the co-host please contact the instructor and know whether he is live or not? Okay, it takes more 5 minutes. Okay, yeah. So let's wait for 5 more minutes for the instructor. Basically, guys, traditional websites, even Facebook, uses much of this PHP itself. You can learn PHP, you can learn Laravel. Now, if you are going with the native things like JavaScript, HTML, and everything, then you can go with AngularJS. See, nowadays Angular is used in organizational level, and also many developers are now coming to use developers. I mean, freelancers or projects who will be doing in a very small scale or something. They are going with the React.js. Okay, so most of the people will be using AngularJS. See, AngularJS is going to help many developers to work collectively, to understand what another developer is doing, and also to make the work very simplifier, and also to make the website more smoother, convenient, and also prerequisites to learn AngularJS. You need to know JS first. You need to know no JS is a prerequisite, and also if suppose you are into totally into front end, then you need to learn HTML. You need to learn CSS bit, and you also need to understand the logic part, how to write a logic for given conditions. Can you answer my question, Vinith? Which is comfortable to learn, which is more widely used? So, guys, we suggest basically most of the developers are going to use AngularJS. Some examples how it uses for developers. Yes, simple thing. You can just go and see the how a normal normal person who just knows a language is developing a website, and the person who is developing in an organizational level uses AngularJS, because I already said this. There should be some organized structure to in developing. There is a organized structure of framework involved in developing a website. Yes, Facebook is also being used, and Twitter also developed. Yeah, yes. So when they initially they have been started, they have been went with Facebook is a lot of comprises of PHP code. What is the difference between a programming language and a framework? Programming language is a tool. Okay, framework is a collection of tools with a particular organized structure. Framework is a collection of because there will be modal part, there will be view part, there will be controller part. You need to handle all the three things when you are designing a website. At least we are dealing with front end. Okay, it's not that simple. Just learning a language, single language with single HTML language, you cannot develop total website. You need to have a styling for it. And once after mentioning a styling, you cannot always use HTML and CSS code every time when you required in other pages. Sometimes that will be crashed, because the files you are going to use are not in an organized way, and it is not going to retrieve the data or send the data. How the AngularJS allows to work on same project by different people. You can post it in the GitHub is a platform where you can you can also share your project. You can form a team, and after forming a team you can share the privileges to the user, and after sharing the privileges to the users in your team can download download the file and update it accordingly. Yes, when you are updating the programs, you cannot suppose suppose for example Rajan Sharma is now working on front end part, and Vineet is working on logic part. Okay, and someone else is working on the database. Now what happens? It's not every time. These three people cannot come together and also update every time, right? So here when we are using a framework and a set of files, when we make it when we are using some repositories like GitHub repository, that makes to you can access a person can access a particular project files and also update the project files accordingly. You can also see when a person is updated, which line that he has been edited, which set of statement that have been edited, and everything. Is AngularJS is only used in web development? No, there are many. There are React.js. There is a Node.js, but there is a different. Basically, AngularJS is a kind of thing where uh, it is used by many developers, and also the code is reusable. This code can be used. React is something like, React is a kind of specifically focused on JavaScript, but not Angular. AngularJS is something, it accepts and it is compatible with HTML, CSS, and many other things. Is it helpful to access database of websites? Guys, simple, to make it very simple. Okay, we'll understand what exactly we are going to do with a database. Whatever the database it might be Firebase, or it might be SQL, whatever it might be. Every point in a data, every element in a data is being given with an ID, right? Am I correct? So every ID, when you are writing any website, any page, and the page should be contained dynamically changing content, then that ID will be placed in the front end, right? You are going to access the data using the ID of the data. Yeah, classes will be used in CSS and front end part. I'm talking about the database. In the database, the data, the columns have been specified to particular IDs. Age is given by one ID. Okay, your date of birth is given by one ID, and many other IDs. And whatever the database it might be, you can use PHP, you can use JavaScript, and many other languages. It's up to you. Retrieving the data, you need to understand which ID is going to point out the relevant information. Am I correct? So particular, if I suppose I know a particular person is in that room with a particular ID, then only I can post a request saying that go and bring that person with particular roll number. Either it might be me or some other person, or the principal of the college, or the driver of the whoever it might be. They should know the ID, and the database is a classroom having a set of people who are the data, and everyone has their own ID. So here, what is the main thing that is most usefully by AngularJS? The first picture I've shown you, those are all the benefits of using AngularJS. That is the reason companies opt for the freshers or someone after getting them trained on particular set of languages. They will be training them on these kind of frameworks, Angular, React, and other things based upon the requirement of the project. So the uses of the AngularJS, as I've already said you, it's a cross-platform. You can also use these websites in different platforms. It is a very speed and kind of accessible, dynamically loaded. So guys, I think instructor is live now. Give me a second. Is my voice audible?
Hello.
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 Yes, it's audible now. Yeah. Yes, it's audible. Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Can you? Are you going to share the screen now, or?
Okay. Hello.
Yes, it's audible. So you can continue now.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Uh, are you getting my screen? Hello.
Yes, it's blank actually.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Generally, this application is related to our session is related to um, JavaScript. So what is the use of JavaScript in nowadays? So are you using screen? Hello? So JavaScript. So where we use JavaScript in real time. So generally, whenever we go for an applications, we have a multiple types of scripting scenarios are there. Best example, for an example, if you want to go for any registration or login or etc. pages, so like for any form validations or any information sharing area, like sending the information, receiving the information, at the time we will go within a JavaScript mechanism. So basically, JavaScript are majorly considered as a client side validation purpose. So basic JavaScript is using for client side validation, and we need to go for server side validation. We have an advanced concept is there, Angularjs. Angularjs. So Angularjs is an advanced concept related to JavaScript. So this is supported both the client side as well as server side. Client side as well as client side as well as server side also. So what we have in a server side. So for an example, if you go for a server side validation, for example, if you want to log in a Gmail account, if you want to go for login Gmail account, so at that time we will use basically username or email ID. Next, after that we go for password. Password. First of all, this will check whether this email ID is available in our server database or not. Nothing but this email is belongs to that particular Gmail account registration already done or not, it will be checked. Nothing but in Gmail server, we have an n number of storage values are there. Like an best example, we have a database storage area for a Gmail. For this, we have a storage area. For example, this is a Gmail database, Gmail DB. So this DB contain registration information, registration of users information, registration of users information. In this user information table, we have a first name, last name, like username, password, email address, and phone number, and nationality, and gender. Like this, we have a number of things. Further, whenever that these values we have in a registration time. But if you want to go for login, we need to choose only two things: username and password. We need to use username and password. For these two things are already existing in the database server or not. For an example, if one user want to log into this account, this email ID already registered in this Gmail server or not, it will check. And if the password is already stored or not, this is the first thing. And second thing, this is the first scenario. And second thing, if his entered email address is correctly or not, already value is there. For an best example, uh, we have a one registration value. For an example, San is a first name and last name we call A, and email ID san at the rate of gmail.com, and next gmail.com, and gender male, and email address we given as a Sandeep at the rate of gmail.com. Take an example, and password also I'm giving Sandeep. This will be represented in a which format? Stars format. Whenever we are in a browser. Okay. Next. and nationality, these values and phone numbers. Like this we have a numbers, we have like that we have a number of values in the database for single user. So like that n number of Gmail accounts are created in a Gmail server based on the users. So like that, this is a registration. For example, if you want to go for this san nothing but Sandeep at the rate of gmail.com, this person need to log into that account. At the time, he can enter first. He can enter Sandeep at the rate of gmail.com. Okay, fine. Nothing but this email ID is available in a server. Okay, very good. This email ID already available in a server. Next, and he need to enter password. For example, he's enter password as a Sandeep. If the both the values are correct, then only the login accessibility will given to the user. If he's enter wrong username or wrong password, he's never login into the that particular Gmail server, nothing but Gmail account. So these is a validation in server side. For example, what is the client side validation? So majorly JavaScript and AngularJS is processing the scripting whenever client side as well as server side. If you want to go with an a basic JavaScript programming, this will be supported only for client, only client. And AngularJS is coming to the client as well as server. So best example, we are looking to a number of what e-commerce sites. Best example, we are using n number of e-commerce sites. For example, we have a mobile. In this mobile, we have an n number of products. Like we will get an n number of products images. We get a n number of products. For example, product one and product two and product three and product four. Like that, we have an n number of products display we have available in a mobile or browser. Sir, these are related to different products. For example, this is related to mobile and this is related to laptop and this is related to PC and this is related to and cloth and this one is related to mobile. Like that we have a different area. So I want to filter only, I want to get it laptops or I want to get it only mobiles. Like that we want to filter the information. We have a bulk of data in a database, we need to retrieve only limited data. At the time, we will go with an a AngularJS. This is the server side because of we need to get the information from the server. So like that we will use, sorry, don't use any markers whenever we are in a class. Okay. uh, so like that we need to get the data from the database in a mobile in e-commerce sites. We need to filter, we will get in a multiple data. For an example, we will get in a mobiles, we will get in a laptops, we will get in a PC, we will get in a clothes. Like the different information items are we will get it. But the user need to get the user wants to get only, he want only mobiles, he want only mobiles. At that time we have an option in a application, filter. Filter, these filters are run whenever without changing the page, nothing but whenever we have in a page we will get in a this page name we call it as, we will use a web application. This page we call it as products. Products, so this is a products page. So without changing products dot JSP or products dot something, product dot HTML, HTML is nothing but static pages. So we will go with an JSP or we will go with an ASP and we will go with an APY. So we have a different scenarios are there. So if you go with a multiple language, we will go. If you go with a PHP also, we will go with a .php. If you want to go with a Java, we will go with JSP. And if you want to go with a .NET, you will have a ASPX, nothing but ASPX And if you want to go with Python, we have a py. Like that, we have different format. So for an example, if I want to go with an php, so dot extension is dot php, product dot php. So in the this page, I don't want to redirect it to another page. I don't want to go for redirection in another, like an a product one dot jsp or product one dot php. I don't want to read. Whenever I select mobiles, I want to get the same page with with only mobiles. But this page consists of lot of different items. Best example, first one is a mobile, second one is a laptop, and third one is an a PC, and fourth one is an a clothes, and fifth one is a mobile. So we have a different items. But I want limited data because of users flexibility is an important whenever we go for an scripting languages. Why we are using scripting language? Because of within a fraction of second, and without any server without loading huge amount of data, we need to load limited data. For that, we will go with an scripting languages. For that, majorly we concentrate on Angularjs. So basically, JavaScript and Angular, the basic component. If you want to go with Angularjs or Node.js or um, what Node.js and Node, we have a different languages are there. So those are the scripting languages. If you want to learn, the basic concept is JavaScript. The major thing is what? JavaScript. How we will go with an a JavaScript? What are the functionalities and what are the basic concepts we required? If you want to go with an a if you want to go with a name JavaScript, what are the concepts we required? What we need, we will concentrate on the JavaScript language, and what we concentrate on JSP, Angular JS, nothing but Angular JS. So these are the things we need to uh, prepare. So what are those things we need to discuss? We will check out first. In JavaScript, the major things, what are the concepts we require? The basic concepts is required. We required minimum knowledge of HTML, and we required minimum knowledge of HTML, and if we required minimum knowledge of conditional statements or conditional loops. We required two things: conditional conditional statements and conditional loops. Nothing but loops. These are the things major we need to cover in HTML. Sorry, nothing but JavaScript. So HTML is a major thing because of we need to design the UI page, and in that UI page we need to write some of attributes in a HTML. Based on those attributes, we will communicate with an JavaScript. In the JavaScript, we will use conditional statements and conditional loops. How we will? Not we will take an example and we will go with. Okay, one second. See, take an example. We will look at one browser page. We will look at one browser page. In that browser page, we need to write some of things like first we will go with an basic concepts, how we will write and how we will work with an JavaScript. First of all, I want to go with an basic HTML programming. Then we will go with an JavaScript. First of all, we need to write some of form tags. Nothing but what are the forms? We have a different form pages are there: login form, a registration form, and feedback form, and contact form, and query form. Like that, we have a different scenarios of forms are there. Okay. Further, we will use the basic concept. Most of the people are already used these concepts. Like we will go with a first login page for every application. We have a login page. For that, what we will do? First, whenever we go with a login page, we have an email address, email id is a basic concept, email id. Next, password. Password we have. Next, we have some buttons or some input information. We have an input information for email and input information for password, and we have two buttons. Those buttons are, the first one is login, and next one is clear or reset. Reset. We have, sorry, login. We have, next we have reset. Yes, these are the two buttons. So first, we need to design HTML for this. Then we will go with how we need to apply the validations and what are the script, how we write a script. We will look at. First of all, we need to write HTML programming. For that, we have a number of tools are there to design a HTML pages, and we will work with different IDs also. Okay, basically first we will go with some text area, then we will go with that IDs. We will and after the session, some of sessions, we will go with an IDs for user convenient, and development time is also very less whenever we go with an IDs. But basic the thing we will go with first we will go with a normal text format, then we will go with an IDs. For this page we need to design first the tag is HTML tag, the basic thing. Next, in this HTML tag we need to write a head tag. After head tag we need to write title tag. In this title we need to write, for example, what is the page we need to design. Login page. Okay, so we need to end the title tag. Next, end the title tag. Next, and where we insert the script we will look out, and we need to close the head tag. After that we need to open body tag. So we will go with a body tag, and in this body tag we will write some of content like h1 of h1 of h1 is nothing but this tag is related to header tags. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, H7, H8. We have a different length tag. This is, for example, if you want a large type, large amount of nothing but large scale of uh, text you want, you will go with an H1. So I will go with an a login here, login, and we need to login page. We need to write login page, and we need to close this tag h1. We need to close it. After that, after this tag we will take a break tag, then we will start form tag. What is the tag? Form tag. Inside form tag open and form tag close. And in this form tag, what is the first element we will take? An email id colon. What type of box you are to take, that must and should be represented in email format now. So that is the reason input, we will providing input in this area. We are providing input here. So that is the reason input type is equals to input type is equals to double quotation start. What you want, we have an input type in different scenarios are there. We can pass number, we can pass date, we can pass time, we can pass file, we can pass text, we can pass the password, and like that we can pass the radio button, we can pass the checkbox, we can pass the button, we can pass the submit. We have a different elements for this type. So for that First of all, we require what is the type we require here? For email, we required email is also there. Email is there. And next, name is an attribute. This attribute is mandatory. We need to write it. Name attribute. And whenever we go within a JavaScript, we have two things we will use it. ID we can use it. Name we can use it. ID we can use it. Name we can. So here I am using name. Name attribute I am using. Name attribute I am using. Sure, name attribute I am using here. So in this name, what I am writing? For an example, here I am writing email ID. Sir, input type is email, but name attribute is email ID. Please listen, observe carefully. And type is an email. Here, must and should we need to mention at the rate here. If you mention at the rate, then only the email type will be work. Email type will be work. Otherwise, it's never work. Sure. So here and close. Input and close. Next, after that, we are writing. Here I am writing. Next line we require now, so that is the reason we will use one tag, that is a break tag. That is a break tag. Break tag we use. And next here we will use password. Password colon. What is the input type? Input space type is equals to what type of element, that is password. Password must and should be represented in hidden format. So for that, we have an attribute password. We have an element password. If you mention the password, then only it will take as an a hidden format password. And what the attribute we need to take? Name attribute. Name I am taking as pass. Then close it. Then close it. After that, we need to write break tag. So the screen having some issue. I will take in a notepad or notepad plus plus. I have a notepad plus plus in my system. I will share that. I'm taking one more new page. Yeah, here. Here, observe. First, I will type HTML. For that, I need to close this HTML. Inside HTML, we have an a. What is the tag? Head tag we have. For that, head tag we need to close. Head tag we need to close. Inside head tag we have a title. We have a title. We have a title. What is that? Login form. Yeah, at that place I'm taken as a at that place I'm taking a login page here, but I'm taking as a login form. Title close. Title close. After that, we will write something. For that, I'm taking a space, and after that, we require body tag. And body tag we need to close it. Okay. In between body tag, we required h1 tag. H1 tag. Here I'm writing login page, and we need to close h1 tag here. Next, now I'm writing form tag. Form form tag open and form tag close. Sorry. And in between form tag, what is the thing we have? Email. Email ID colon. Now what we want to do? input type input type is equals to, here we need to take email. For that we will take email. Otherwise you won't take it as a text, you can take it, not a problem. And one attribute is taken, that is what name. This name I'm taking email ID. Okay, next. And I will close the if you want to go with an HTML5, we have a placeholder. We have that placeholder will show the watermark type of an information. Watermark type of information we will see in further class, and after that we will give it a break. Next, password. Second one is what? Password. Here, input type is equals to, what is that? Password. Already. So whenever we use a password, it will represent in a dot format, nothing but star format. And name I'm taking, name is equals to, I'm taking pass. And we need to close the input, and we will write a break. So after that, we are taking two buttons. We are taking two buttons. Please observe here. Here we are taking one button. This is a login button, and another one is register button. Okay. So for that I'm writing. I'm writing input type is equals to, I said previously types are different elements are there. One is type is email, type is password, type is text, type is mobile number or number. And we have a tell is also there, telephone, nothing but tell is nothing. Tell is an element name. We can given a telephone number, and we have a date, we have a time, we have a file, we have a radio, we have a checkbox, we have a submit, we have a reset. So that is a thing, that is the reason I'm using submit. Submit is nothing but it's look like in a button, submit. Type is equal to submit. We will represent the value here, sir, because of the value will show the information on a screen, on a screen. So for that, what I'm taking in the screen, login I'm taking. Here I'm taking login. So here what I need to write, here I want to write login only. Then only the login will be displayed in that location. Next, close out input tag, and required, sir, login and reset is side by side. So that is the reason we don't want to use any break. If you want the space in between these two things, we have an a in previous HTML cases we have an a ampersand of NDSP is there, so that is not using present days. So we will use an a table and something blah blah things. We will discuss in further classes those things. Okay, and okay, next, input type is equals to reset. Type is equals to reset. Value is equals to reset. Here I am writing reset, that is the reason I am writing reset. If you mentioned here clear, for example here I mentioned clear, then I can use a clear. Here I mentioned as a reset, that is the reason I am using here reset only. Okay, so this is on a page. If you run this page, what happen we will see. We need to save this page with help of an .html. Where I'm save on desktop. I'm saving on desktop. I'm created one folder for that. Yeah, here I'm creating test. Test is my folder name. Inside test, I'm creating one page. What is the page? Login page dot html. Login page dot html. Save it. If you run this page, what happened? We will see. See, I will go to the desktop. I will go to desktop, and we have a folder test. We have a test page. So see, so this is the page I created. Right click on this page and open with Google Chrome. So this content it will be generated. For an example, if you mentioned something, for example, j@gmail.com, and I mentioned as and password I mentioned as JAA, and if you click on login, nothing will be happening. Something information will send. Okay. First of all, if I mentioned information, it will be sent, not a problem. Okay, fine. If I am not mentioning anything values, I need to represent here some of validation, nothing but if I'm not entering any value here, must and should my screen need to given a response to me. My screen, nothing but my this screen must and should be given as a written response. You need to enter that field, nothing but required field. We call it as what that field we call it, and required. So if you want to enter the information, for an example, here I'm enter Sandeep. It is not correct because of here here I'm taking input type is an a input type is what type email. So input type is email. If you want to, for example, if you take this input type email, okay, so we need to take text. If you want to take text, not a problem. Now it will be okay with this. Now it will be okay with this screen. Now it is okay. But whenever you mentioned this is an email, is an email, email must and should here we
due to some internet issues, instructor has left the meeting. We have digital marketing class tomorrow at 3 p.m. Attend that. Okay. And we sorry for the interruption. Instructor couldn't get the access to internet, so there was no possibility for the instructor to talk. So kindly please leave the meeting. Tomorrow we have a session on digital marketing. You can join it. We'll send you the meeting ID and password if you register. We'll send you the link through the WhatsApp community. If you like to know more about the Angularjs internship or other internships what Kusa.in is providing, you can call and contact the number. Uh, the number is 863-962-9933. Please, please make that sure. Can you hear me? Can anyone say? Can you? Can anyone? Yeah. So, if yes, okay. So if someone has any queries regarding the internships what we provide, please contact me. My number is 863-962-9935. Contact me at any possible time, and I'll let you know what kind of internships we are providing and the benefits what you get by, opting them. And thank you for attending. And soon we'll be approaching you through WhatsApp community, and we'll let you know about the registration thing on digital marketing session tomorrow at 3 p.m. Yes, we have certification for the demo sessions. If you attend all the series that we do, we'll again we'll give the e-certificates, and we'll resume this session again in this week, uh, and we'll intimate you again about this session. Yeah, we'll give you e-certificates. Any other doubts? Okay, thank you for attending. Yeah, let's take a leave. Thank you.